Welcome to the Power of the Reflective Speaker Series. How are you guys doing today? Hope you're doing well. I hope you continue to do your journaling, you're doing your grounding, and you're really finding time to pause and go within. This series, the Reflective Speaker Series, this series is to help you, the speaker. Because many times we are thinking to become a speaker, or we are a speaker, and fear gets in the way of us. So myself, Joan Williams, and Will Williams, we created a space that you could come into this space and you can feel comfortable. We're going to make you feel so comfortable. So by the time you finish, you can go out into the world. That's the goal of this space for you. It's to help you to get your feet on the ground and stand tall, that you can project yourself out into the world and be the best speaker you can ever be. So this evening, we are starting this, and it's all for you. And our co-host, Will Williams, he's going to tell us all more about the reflective speaker. And he's also going to touch on the topic today that we want to touch on is resurrection. Resurrection into accountability. And those two lead me straight to transformation. Because when you resurrect from something, you transform. But when you transform, you have to be accountable for the transformation that you went through. So Will is going to touch more on that. I don't want to give away too much, but I'm now going to hand the mic to my co-host, Joan Williams. Joan, take the mic.
Hi. What a great start. It's a nice time of year where we are in a new season. And where are we at this junction? And now we're focusing on creating a space where speakers can come and, as Will would tell us more about it, and make the presentation. And it's a nice way to set the tone to conclude 2024. Part of your dream, part of your goal, being a speaker. This is a good spot to stop at and launch yourself forward. You might say tonight, oh, this is my dream come true. Take that bold move.
Yeah.
Take the bold, as we always talk in our other shows, taking bold move, making those steps, because sometimes you might be thinking about something. You might have a burning desire. You might feel that you are impregnated with a dream, and it might be a speaker. Take that step. Give it a second look. And this would be a nice spot to start, a nice space to start, where we can support you. We can give you that boost. We can reassure you to believe in yourself Because if you feel that something within you and you feel that call that I think I can do this, but you're not quite sure. We're here to give you that boost and say, you know what? You can. Because sometimes all we need is just have that level of support. Just have that level of support and a level of encouragement and to say, you can do this. You can do this. If you feel that call and you feel impregnated with that, you can do it. It's just taking that first step. Don't look at the staircase. Take that first step. Build that confidence and move with that mental leap and reassure yourself. And as you move in that space, you'll be surprised how everything starts to fall into place. But first, you have to make that first step. And then everything is going to fall into place so beautifully. And then what you will tell yourself is, oh my goodness, why didn't I start before? Because I didn't realize that there's so many people out there who will support me in my dream or my goal or whatever is it you're trying to speak about. So tonight, welcome, sit back, relax. Thanks for joining us. And we will hand the mic. My name is Joan Williams, Holistic Health and Wellness Coach. And we can hand the mic over to Will. And he's going to enlighten us and bring a lot of clarity to the space, what it's all about. Well, welcome. We're so happy that you join us and we're in this space together.
I thank you for that introduction. That's pretty good, Joe. um, I'm Will Williams. I'm a speaker, but I'm also dabbling in a lot of other things business wise too. But tonight, this is about being a speaker.
Right.
Uh, this idea came to me. Karen and I talk a lot, and she kind of put a bug in my ear about something that was possible. And at the time that she said it, I sort of thought that, well, maybe someday, maybe one day we'll actually do something together. But she felt pretty comfortable in saying that we are going to do something together that's going to affect the world. And so, it stayed with me. And I had this idea one day. It just kind of came along and say, wait a minute, I'm getting all these messages from people who are asking about being speakers and what does
Mm-hmm.
it take to be a speaker, and then how do you get a contract if you're a speaker. And I was answering them, but then with what Karen put in my ear, so we can do something with this. My background being television, we can take a show and form around this idea and give people an opportunity. Because I was also getting a lot of messages from, and nothing against these type of businesses. There are businesses out there who bring speakers in to do events that they put on.
Right.
And but the thing is that they were charging the speaker to basically speak. So it's a model that's good for them, but I didn't see anything in that for me. I mean, I've gotten probably tons of different messages from companies that do this kind of thing, and I would always tell them, I like your model and everything, but it's not something I would be interested in. If I'm going to pay you for me to come and speak, that just doesn't, you know, resonate with me. But I know in the entertainment business, for instance, when you become an actor, you act on a local stage first, and you sort of work your way up, right? And so if you get your big break, it'll come from you doing all those small stages that you've had to do in order to work your way to be seen by somebody who thinks you have a talent to shine at the highest level of it. And so in speaking, there's no such thing as an actual lower level of speaking unless you put yourself there. Speakers come in and the earnings can start anywhere from $50 and then go up to $100,000 or more. And so it just depends upon, as you said, Joan, how much courage do you have? And then, as you also said, taking that first step behind that courage. Can you do something with that? And so Karen always talks about people believing. And this is something that if you're going to get into this industry, you have to be a firm believer in yourself because you can't do
True.
it without that, you know.
True.
So you have to believe in what you're going to speak, and you also have to know what you're going to speak. So you're
Mm-hmm.
taking your life experiences and basically putting them together to make a format, and then your story is formatted around your experiences. So like if you go talk to a business, whatever type of business it is, incorporate the story to where it makes sense to what you're there to try to motivate them, inspire them to get them to do that the employer is looking for to get his employees, a new fire under them or get them a spark. And I always speak in the context of everybody has motivation already. So for me, I speak in the context of inspiration. I want to inspire your
Mm-hmm.
motivation. And
Mm-hmm.
then hopefully, if I give it the right message, you'll take that and transform it into action. So I try to speak from the standpoint of you taking it and then transforming that and following up to make it happen. And so that's what this
Yeah.
show is basically about. Now, I also, since I've done this and put it out there and people have read articles I've written and gotten in touch with me, they ask, well, why only 10 minutes? So in this format that we're working in, we're trying to get you to pitch basically to a business, but you're going to do it in the context of you giving a speech, and we're going to clock you at 10 minutes and cut you off at that point. So to give a 10-minute speech, a lot of people can speak, but within a 10-minute structured system that we got set up here, you have to be direct about what you're speaking about. So you don't have time to kind of go over here, then go over there, and then kind of come back to the center. Your story is going to have to make sense to the people that you're trying to connect with. I mean, in this case, you're talking to the entire world. The people are going to watch this show are global. And you're also talking to the business community who hire people to come in and do speak. So from that context, it can be a little scary because if you haven't done this before, you sort of used to speaking for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, even an hour. And so 10 minutes kind of presses you into being focused. And a lot of people that speak are not focused. So they'll start off with what they want to talk about, but then they get lost over here if somebody has a question or something in the middle of it. And you're gonna have people that interrupt you, of course. That comes with the territory. But what this show is basically going to do is allow you to cut out the middleman. You are basically your own agent. Our organization is built around Joan and Karen and myself. We're collaborating on this. Our organization is built around getting you exposure. And so we're not going to act as your middleman. We're not going to be your agent, your manager, anything of that nature. We're giving you the opportunity to get the exposure. Now, so a lot of people have asked me, well, that makes sense, but then aren't you guys interested in generating some revenue from this as well? We have plans for that. We're going to do that, but it's not going to be at the expense of the speakers. We have
Right.
something much bigger than what the speakers are going to be doing. And so our overall goal is to take this thing to where it can be seen on a regular basis on the streaming service before we want to go. So we're not going to act as your booking agent or anything. If you give a speech and a business wants to contact you at the end of your speech, then you give your contact information, and I'm sure we'll have it set up to where we'll have it to where your name and what you're going to speak about, all that'll be in a little intro deal. And so if they're interested in booking you as a speaker, then they're going to contact you directly. They're not going to contact either one of us and say, well, can you get me in touch with that? This is all going to fall back to you. So that's the only thing we're interested in doing is getting you booked. Like these first shows that we're going to do is going to be like a season. We're doing 13 shows. In television, they used to do everything in 12 to 13 shows, and now it's formatted down to 10 shows, excuse me, to be a season. We're doing 13 because it's the introduction of this. So we're looking for 13 speakers who are willing to put themselves out there like this. I've had people book, and then I've had some back out, and I've had some more come in and book. And so I'm going to be passing the list to Joan and Karen here pretty soon. And so you'll be talking to them moving forward. So if you're going to back out, then you have to let us know at least ahead of schedule so we can get somebody else to step
Right.
in. But we're only going to do one show a week is what we have planned for this first series. And going into 2025, we may change the format somewhat where we update it and do two speakers, in a week's time. But for this first 13 shows, it's only going to be one speaker a week. And so you're going to get your chance to speak directly to the audience. You decide what you're going to speak about. We're not going to give you any insight on what you should speak about, what you should say, anything like that. You're going to come in, let us know what you want to talk about, and then it's on you. 10 minutes. Stage is yours. So they're going to bring you in and introduce you and talk a little bit about why what you want to speak about, and then 10 minutes is you. So it's all going to fall upon the courage that you have, the belief you have, and then what you decide to do with the action to follow up on that and make it happen. So that's basically the show in pretty much short-term explanation for it. And you got people who have never spoken before that I'm getting emails and messages from those type of people too who want to get into this industry. And so this is perfect for you because you never know who actually has the gift to do this.
Sure.
I mean, everybody wants to speak, but not everybody can speak.
Right.
So some people are going to have a natural gift or talent to do this, but they haven't taken the step to follow up on it. They're talking to themselves like, I think I want to be a speaker, but then maybe not. I don't know if I can do it or not. So this is your chance to do that. And there's no such thing as failure here. If you do the show, you give your 10-minute speech. Afterwards, you decide, I don't like what I just did. I should have said this. I should have did that.
Right.
Maybe
Right.
I should have given a different speech. It's okay to second guess yourself, but once you take the step and you move forward on it. Like tonight, I'm speaking about accountability. Accept that as what it is and move forward. And so there'll be another time for you to speak again. But remember, with this one, you don't want to be perfect because there's no such thing, but you want to be as close as you possibly can because you're pitching. And so just like in a business venture, you only have a few seconds to get those investors to buy into what your vision is. And here we're giving you a whole 10 minutes to sell the vision of what your speech is, whatever it's going to be about. You got 10 minutes to sell that vision upon the audience. And so as every speaker knows, when you go out and you speak to an audience, whether you're doing it on video or live, you only have a few minutes to connect with that audience. And so usually it's within the first, for me, 2 minutes. After the introduction, I have to get right into the speech to connect with you. If I don't, then I'm not going to have anybody in the audience that's going to follow. So I have to be able to connect. And this all works off of frequency and energy as well, because people have to be on your frequency to connect with what you're saying or feel your energy, your vibe. So when you're speaking to people, you want to give them something that relates to their lives in some type of way. Like tonight, if I was speaking on safety, for instance, I would tell a story that some type of way would circle back to just being safe, or how safety works to keep everybody else safe around you. So your speech just has to be relatable. And if it's relatable, somebody will connect with that. And that's all you need is one person. One person can take it because most of the time when you go in and speak, unless they're actually asking you to, coaching and also do some type of teaching, you're just going to give that speech. And when you do that, that speech is going to inspire some others to, hey, well, you know what? We can do this. Let's form a little group here and let's see how we can improve our office around here, improve the environment that we're in where it's not so much junk going on around us. And so that's what you try to do, is get people to transform, as Karen said, as mentioned at the top of it. You're trying to get people into a transformational set of mind. And so if you can do that, a mindset of thinking in terms of everybody else and not just me, then you're going to be able to bring everybody into some type of an energy that can transform the entire office space or the work environment itself, or a home, or whatever else you may be involved in. And so that's basically what the show is actually about for the most part. We don't charge you anything. There's not going to be a fee for you to come and do this. We're not charging you. All we need for you to do is show up and speak. That's it. And the rest of it take care of itself after that. So, and like you said, also, Joe, you mentioned this. You never know who's watching this. So, since we're in a business community, there are going to be CEOs, upper level management, people like that will see you. And so your message may resonate with them, and they may not have even had plans for a speaker to come in, but all of a sudden, that's something that resonates with them. They say, you know what? See if I find that person and bringing them in to speak to my employees, see if we can turn this thing around. And so, especially in today's climate, the way things are so chaotic, you have a chance to touch people in a way that you can change their direction and give them hope. Now, hope is around faith. Because, we talked about this. I did a show with you guys previously. We talked about faith and hope being the same thing. It's when you have faith, you have hope, and you're hoping that something happens. So I like to speak in the context of belief, because belief can be repeated. It's repeatable. And so you have something that you can grab hold of and see that somebody's done it before you can do it. And so whatever you decide you want to speak on, just use your life experiences from it and put it in the context of a story, and you can do this. Anybody can actually do this. Like I just said, everybody wants to speak, but not everybody can speak. Well, that's true. But at the same time, there are people out there with a natural gift to communicate and connect with people. And so, like with myself and you guys, Joan and Karen, we are spiritual. And like for myself, I study frequency on words and what words resonate high and that kind of thing. So I stay within the words parameter to kind of want to throw into when I speak. I'm using certain words, and I'm using those words for a reason. And I'll give you a little bit of secret here. Usually, familiar words that people hear all the time that seem like they're just simple, like is, the, that, we, you. Those are simple words. Everybody uses those every day, all day long. Now, in the context of you delivering a story, when you use those words go into the subconscious mind. And so people don't know that you're planting a seed into them, but you are. So everything that you see today around marketing is programming based. And so as a speaker, that's basically what you're doing, is you're trying to implant an idea, a vision, a concept into somebody who don't even know that you're doing that. Because all they, the conscious mind is absorbing this information, but the subconscious mind is processing, putting it away in the storage bank. So it's filing it away, and it'll come back and listen to it later. Now, when you give a speech, speeches only last for, when you speak to somebody, in a group especially, the first 2 weeks, they'll remember almost verbatim, word for word, what you said. It's a really good speech. And the third week, they'll remember bits and pieces of that speech. By the end of a month, they'll have just the parts that resonate with them still remaining. Now, this is the subconscious working this, because it stored this information away, and what it didn't need, it threw out. What it thought that it could use, it stored. So if you give a good speech, that's going to be remembered. And they'll use those bits and pieces of that speech somewhere in their life later, or speaking somewhere else. They may get a chance to speak somewhere, and they'll bring that story up and tell it in their own version. But as a speaker, that's what you want to do, is you want to make people think without them knowing that you're making them think. So when you're speaking to them, you're more in a conversational tone. I've seen speakers speak this where they want to, and it's okay if that's your personality. You give the rah-rah speech, we call it in athletics, where you firing them up and let's go, let's knock that wall down, and we're going to do this, and that's okay, but they don't remember those type of speeches. So you want to talk in context of where people can listen and actually hear what you say. Like this speech that I'm going to give you here in a few minutes, we're talking about, like I said, resurrection and accountability. I'm going to lay out a little background on what those two things are first, and then I'm going to give you a quick, short, probably 2-3 minute story. Cut it short in the front time frame that we're working with, and you'll see what I'm talking about. You may not catch it when I'm giving it, but if you think about it real closely afterwards, you'll be able to see where I put these words together to make it all work. And I've implanted a thought into your mind that you don't even know I did. because it's going to look so casual or be casual, like it's just a conversation I'm having. So there'll be some people that blow that off. He's not talking about much. But I got them too, because when they're saying that, that's their conscious mind saying, I'm not listening to that. So let me see what happened at the water fountain today. But the subconscious mind is storing this information away. So I've got them either way. They just don't know it. So when you speak to people like this, you have a responsibility, and that comes back to accountability. You have a responsibility to not try to take somebody and put them in a state that drags them down. You want to build people all the time. So you don't ever want to talk to people in a manner to where you're trying to tear them down, because that stays with you too. And so that's what I'm going to be doing here is when I'm speaking here in a few minutes, is trying to build you. If we were in a setting to where I was brought in to speak to you, this is what I would be talking about. And again, I'm talking about resurrection and accountability, but a resurrection comes in different forms, So Karen mentioned earlier that it don't have to be a physical death. It can be mental, So it can be just you changing directions, transforming and deciding you're doing something. It's a transformational move. And so sometimes when you use these terms, people conflate them with, a broader
Biblical.
field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they get them kind of confused. Sometimes you have to be that more direct with when you speak about something.
Right.
You have to be more direct with it. So anyway, but that's it. That's basically what the show is about, and what we're planning on doing with it. And we just like for you to take the opportunity to sign up. If you think you want to do this, or you think you can speak, this is your opportunity to do so. You don't have to think about it anymore. This is a dream come true for you. You speak into
Yeah.
the entire world. So even if you only do this one time, it's going to be out there. This is going to be replayed on YouTube and other places, Facebook, LinkedIn. So you're going to be able to see it. Everybody else will be able to see it, even if you don't do it but one time. But at the same time frame, if you speak, and as I just said, it's replaying. Somebody somewhere is going to see this and think that
Right.
person is who I need to bring in to speak to my
Right.
group.
Right.
So that's how you have to kind of look at it, and your opportunity will be there. So that's it, ladies, for me. So give me a little pep talker, and I'll go into this other part of it, and we're out of here. I mean, even with me, I'm used to speaking, and we talked a little bit about this before we went on air too. So we'll mention a little bit, and you both covered this a little bit in your introduction too. Even if you're a veteran speaker, and you hear people sometimes say, well, I don't get nervous. Yes, you do too. It's the natural state. People, I don't care if you've done this 10,000 times. There's a point at the beginning where you are nervous. And so you have to get, like with myself when I speak, the first 30 seconds, usually, and this comes from television too, when they used to give me the countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, and they give me that point that I'm live. Once that point comes to me, I know then that I'm no longer speaking to the people around the studio in the booth. I'm talking to an audience. And so the first 30 seconds to 1 minute, even though I already know what I'm going to be talking about, and I know I'm going to introduce my guest, it's natural to have that nervousness there. And you want that actually, because what that does is it's a natural state of your body shifting to rise to the occasion. And so you need that. You need that. So I always tell, like when I coach my football team and basketball team, like I was coaching professional minor league sports, I would always tell them it's okay to be nervous for the first few minutes of the game. It's all right. It will be all right. So just get out there and go through the motions, and that nervousness will gradually leave, and then you'll be ready to play. And so it's the same thing in speaking. You're speaking to people that you don't know, and you're not in an environment that you feel comfortable in. Let's say it that way. So you have to make yourself feel comfortable. And I always tell with me, no matter where I go, I'm never a stranger. I like talking to people. I enjoy people. And so my energy is always on an upbeat. It's always high. So when I go into an environment I've never been into, those people greet me and they feel my energy, that I feel confident. I'm confident in of just me being who I am, but I'm also confident when I speak to you, it's supported by I believe in what I'm saying. So they can pick that energy up, and they then will basically wrap their arms around me and say, "Hey, you one of us. Come on in, let's do this." So, I, it's okay to be nervous. That's part of the deal. This is what I'm telling you. You're going to be nervous regardless of how many times you do this,
True.
and that's okay though. Sometimes it'll be heard in your voice, sometimes it'll be in your movement, but either way, you'll relax after about a minute. After that first minute goes by, if you have your ducks in a row and you really know what you're going to speak about, the nervousness then settles down, and then you start just having a conversation. And so a lot of times speakers also uh, forget that when you're speaking, you're just having a conversation. You don't have to make it a speech because you're going to include a story in it. So just make it a conversation. You're talking directly to somebody in the audience. Like what I would do is when I speak live is I'll find one person in the first 30
Yes, and
seconds
And
connect.
I'm
connect.
going to connect
Hmm.
with, right? So I'm looking around the room, and I'll find they could be in the back, but I'm going to find one person that I can make eye contact with that won't look away, that hold eye contact with me. Once they hold eye contact with me, I'm talking directly to that person for the first 30 seconds. After that 30 seconds, then my head will move, my eyes will start shifting around the room, and now I'm in the room. So I can speak to everybody else now because I'm talking to everybody. And so that you have to have little secrets like that that you apply that's going to give you your confidence and continually build you where you'll be able to do this with blindfold on. You won't even need to see the audience. You just be able to just open up and just speak. And that's what you really want to be able to do, because when you do that more natural, that's where the connection comes from. And so if you can do that, you'll build your confidence. People will believe in what you're saying, and they will start to resonate with the idea or the vision that you're going to carry. You always want to give a vision. So that's what this is. So to a business that you're going to be pitching to, you want to give them insight to this is the vision of I think that you would be able to help your people with. And so this is what I'm telling you. So hire me. you know. And so you never know who's going to knock on your door, but this is your chance to get that done. And that's it.
Wow. You give us a great explanation, Will, and it's going to help someone who is watching now or going to watch on the replay to really understand that this space that we have created is to really help you to transform yourself.
Right.
This space is to help you to stand on a foundation whereby you don't have to be scared, you don't have to be fearful of really putting yourself out there, because as Will said, you never know who's going to be watching. You don't know who is going to be watching, because this is on a lot of platforms, and you don't know who is going to be watching and say, you know what, I think that person could fit into my organization and speak to my employees.
Right.
So it's coming out, putting your best foot forward, as Joan rightfully said. It's about courage and believing in yourself and taking that first step. And the first step, if you're being fearful, the first step, you can step into this space. And we're going to facilitate you that you can stand on this foundation and take off. This is like a runway for you. You know,
Right.
this is a
Right.
runway for you. So you could come here. Because if you ever fly before, you would know the plane got to do all the turning around and do all these things before it's going to take off. So we are giving you this platform whereby you could come on this runway, you can test yourself out and see how you can stand in front of an audience, because being here is being in front of the world.
Yeah.
So when you come here, you're being in front of the world. So it gives you the confidence that you can sit in your home and you could bring a message. And so when a company come and say, something, I really want to hire you because I saw you on the Power of the Reflective Speaker series, and I want to hire you, you can say, yes, I'm ready, because you know
Right.
what? You already laid our foundation. So if you're out there and you're listening and you have a burning desire that you really want to be a speaker, but you don't know how to come out, we are opening this space for you that you could come into this space. And as some people say, test the waters.
Huh?
Come in and test the waters. Get your feet soak in this water,
Right.
and you're going to see where it's going to take you. And even self that you come into this space, and it's not, as Will said, it's not about being perfect. It's just coming out from that space that you lock yourself away in, and just being confident in this space and be yourself. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. That's all we're creating this space for you, is for you to be yourself. And we are so happy that we can do this to help speakers that they can really be themselves. John?
Wow. Wow. Well, thank you for giving us an overview what this all entails. Because one sitting and watching the replay or on live say, what is this all about? Well, you've broken it down step by step. This is how it's done. Believing in yourself. And a good way to start is that one individual, that burning desire that the gift you're impregnated with, and you want to try, this is your chance.
Yes.
This is your moment.
Mm-hmm.
This is something you always want to do. You always thought about. I don't know if I'm going to be okay. Here is it. This has been presented to you. Step out. Make that bold move. Harness that level of confidence. Believing in yourself. Know what you're talking about. Be very specific. What it is all about. And who is your target market? Who you want to reach?
Mm-hmm.
Who you want to present your speech to or your pitch to,
Mm-hmm.
that when you make that presentation, it can help them to better their tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You bring in a level of transformation,
Mm-hmm.
because someone might be stuck and say, well, how can I do this? Or at a leadership level, a cooperation, how can I motivate and transform my employees? How can I do that? And there you are. You come in with your speech and you're being precise, you're being confident, and they're looking and they say, you know what? You were able to help my organization to move forward because I think you have what it takes to help us to move on that level of new trajectory and able to enjoy a level of transformation. This is your time. This is your moment. Don't be afraid to step out. This is 2024. And this is your moment where you step in, lean into your inner wisdom, lean in, take a second look at where you are. And this might be something that you were thinking in the commencement of 2024 speech. eh, You go down the list and you say, okay, well, this is my moment. Let me take a shot. Let me take a shot at this and see what it's like. Because we are here to support you. We are here to give you the level of boost so that you can walk in your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
to help you to feel worthy enough to stand in a stage and move whatever it is that you want to move forward. We're here to let you know that you are special and you have the level of uniqueness, that special gift that you want to bring to the world and help to move in a level of transformation. And you're walking in your excellence. Take it. Take the chance tonight and move. Sign up. Connect. And let's help you to move that career forward. Let's do this because you're
Well,
worthy.
Man, Joan, you, woo, you inspired me. That was good. That was really good.
Thank
Oh,
you.
that was really good. Uh, After hearing you say that, you almost made me not even want to give this Because you pretty much, that was good. It was that good. But because you reached down and touched somebody who heard you just say that, you touched them. And if they're on that vibration with you, because you're a high frequency vibrator, your energy is always high. And so somebody who resonates with that felt what you just said. And so somebody somewhere is going to move.
Mm.
You may have just touched somebody to where, even regardless of what we're doing here, you just may have given them what they needed to get up
True.
tomorrow and do something that they planned on, has been drag assing on basically and not doing. And so that's how powerful what you just said. But that's what speaking is. That's what it is. People that can actually do this without, it's just a natural gift for them. Even when you have just a casual, 2-minute conversation with somebody, you're gonna touch them and they can feel that. And so that's what you have. You and your sister are something else. But you get, when I get this a lot too, where people will have just a casual conversation with me, and we could be talking about the weather. After I finish, they're like, "Where did that come from, man?"
Right.
And I'm just having a conversation with them, but they can feel my
Yes.
energy.
Right.
I believe
Right.
that this
Mm-hmm.
is always going to get better. I don't care how bad it is today; it can get better.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you just have to have enough strength to get up and face tomorrow. And
Yeah.
if you can do that, tomorrow will come for you. It will come.
Yes.
It will come. So, but that takes a belief. You have to build it, and you have to build this over time too. Sometimes we think that people can just change overnight. It takes time
It
to
takes
build
time.
up,
Right.
to be able to do sort of like what we're doing right now. We're just having a conversation between the three of us. And so that's what people are witnessing is three people just having a casual conversation about something that's going to help other people. It's also business related, but it's also spiritual related too. Because as you guys mentioned a little bit in your intros too, this is spiritual. And so whether you are religious or just spiritual or whatever you are, this reaches you too because it resonates with you because we're all actually just one people. Now, we still live in a world where people are still trying to separate us and talking this tribe over here, that tribe over there, and all that nonsense. We're just one, and it's taking time for us to get to this point to where people are starting to realize that. But once you accept that, then you can move, and as you move, you will start to see you everywhere you go. Because everybody that you
Yes.
encounter are bits and pieces of you. And so even if you don't like something that somebody or like the person, it's because there's an aspect of you're looking at reflecting back to you and you're like, I don't like that. But that's you that you don't like. So you
Right.
gotta fix that. You
Mirror.
gotta address
Mm-hmm.
that. And so people are starting to arrive at the point to where they now know that they have to face themselves at some point. I don't care how much you try to run. At some point, you're gonna have to face you.
True.
And so when you do that, you'll get stronger, and life will open up opportunities for you that you don't even know
Mm-hmm.
exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's things in this world. It Before I give this speech, let me say this. In this world, we don't actually see the world as it actually is, and that's what people don't understand. Our eyes are not seeing what the world really is, and you don't really see with your eyes to begin with. The brain is actually processing what you see. The eyes are just a reflection, but this world is totally different because we only see spectrum of it because of the lights and vibration and the frequency and energy. We're only getting to see a bit and piece of what the world really is. And so this world that we live in is not what you think it is. It's totally different. So if you can just open yourself up just a little bit, you can get glimpses of it. You may not believe what you're seeing or experiencing, but you can actually experience what the world really is. It's not what you see, this material stuff they brainwashed you into believing that this is the world. No, 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 no. It's far deeper than that. Far deeper. And So if you can open up yourself enough to see that and experience it, there are things that you'll be able to see and feel that you won't even believe is possible, but it
True.
is. It's
True.
happening right
True.
now. And so it takes you to be able to open yourself up to be able to experience the world the way it really is, and not what you see that you think it is. Because
Mhm.
this is just, yeah, we're not even really solid pieces. Science is now looking into this, and they've discovered that even though we feel solid, and even though everything we touch is feel solid, it's not. It's not. This world is energy, the whole thing. And so as we start to really open this up and really speak to people and let society know what the world really is, and they start accepting what it really is, not what they've been told all this time. Our education system has everything has changed. And so this is preparing for the next generation and generations after that that's to come. We're just at the beginning stages of opening up for what the world really is and what all this existence actually is. So, but we'll do another show about that because we're starting in a different
Right.
direction. We start talking about that. But I just wanted people to know that what Joan just said, it resonated with me, it touched me, and so I know that it touched somebody else. And so that's what we're talking
Thank
about, is
you.
you being able to go in and speak to
Yes.
people, even if we're doing it through video. You
Right.
can feel, I have people, I can write them and they'll tell me they feel what I'm saying in the
Yeah.
written word.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So everybody
Mm-hmm.
can't do that, but your energy carries like that because you still speak
Yes.
in a tone
Yes.
no matter whether it's written or spoken, they will be able to feel that energy. And they can
Hmm.
feel that it resonates with them, and it'll give them a moment of time out to say, wait a minute, you know what? Maybe I need to think about this a little bit. And that's what you want. That gives people an opportunity to see who they really can do and really can be. Because you can always be more than what you think you can. Always, always. So anyway, before we start in a different direction, that's my body, life, soul show right there. So we have to book. We'll set up a day where we come on. We're having a show about that too. So we'll talk about
Right. Right.
that.
Yeah.
Oh man, because we'll be on here an hour if we go down this road. Yeah, we'll just keep going. We'll keep going. And before you know it, all three of us will be jumping in, and we'll just be, feeding off each other's energy. And people feel like, wait a minute, what's up?
What?
Well, we
Yeah.
already discussed
Yeah.
that. You already know what the show is about. We talk about something else now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I'm prepared whenever you guys are ready to do this.
Yes. So you're going to start now for the 10 minutes. You're going to give that pitch and you're going to help people to understand how it's being done. When you come on to the power of the reflective speaker series, you're going to demonstrate for us how it's being done. It's 10 minutes you're given, so you can give that high pitch and take it off.
All right,
Make
then
us want to make us want to hire you.
you got it. Uh, okay, so I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Will Williams. I'm a speaker, and my topic today is resurrection and accountability. Right. So resurrection is a form of transformation, basically restoration, if you want to look at it from that perspective. It don't have to be about a physical death. It could be mental, emotional, whatever else you see that you need to come back from, right? You need to kill off something, ego especially, kill off and come back. And so accountability is another whole thing of itself. It's about responsibility and taking, without giving reasons for what you're doing or excuses, basically. And so when you take these two words and you put them together, you're trying to restore and also put into place accountability for what you are going to be responsible for. So if something should go wrong, and sometimes that happens, uh, you'll be willing to step forward and say, okay, it's my fault. Uh, I have to own that. And the team, or if it is within a team structure, they can rally around that and say, okay, that's all right. We got you. We understand that, and we'll help you get through this. So you can come back from that. So those two things are important. Matter of fact, uh, I have like 25 things that businesses usually have problems with, and accountability is high on that list because every business, no matter large, small, it doesn't matter what size it is, accountability will always be a part of something that they struggle with. because you always have people that'll make a mistake and then nobody wants to take responsibility for it. They'll pass it along. Well, if they would have done this, or if I put it over there and they just didn't pick it up, and I don't know. So nobody wants to be accountable. So that's something that we're going through this change with, this shift that we have now globally. We have bad, how do I want to say this? We have bad examples of how not to be accountable. We got people running for president that lies every day. Every time they open their mouth, it's a lie. So they're not accountable for anything. And then you got people that's running behind this person talking about, yeah, that's it. They go get them, go get them. So ask yourself, if you're going to do that, where's the accountability? You can't talk to a kid about being accountable if you're willing to do that, because you've changed the spectrum of what accountability means at that point. So you can't go around and accept that as being something that from now on moving forward, that's acceptable. As long as we get what we want, that's acceptable. That can't be. You have to have principles that you are going to use to live by, and it's going to be the building block of your boundaries that you're going to operate by. Without those two things, you're not going to be able to do much. And so you can resurrect alone, but you also have to bring accountability along with that, because as you make this shift, everything that you do, desire, want, you have to raise your level of wanting that and the desire for it. Well, you can only have what's already there, basically, is what I'm saying. So let's put it like this. Everything that you ever desired, I mean, ever in your whole lifetime, is already there. You just can't see it because you're not on the same frequency or the vibration of that thing. It's waiting on you. So if you said you wanted a new car, that new car is waiting on you. You're not able to see it or get it right now because you're not at that vibration. You see? So if you can raise your vibration, you have to, a lot of times you hear people talk about believe that you have something before you have it. And you have people that go around saying, well, you can't do that. That's fake. That's false. You don't have it. But remember what I said in our just banter conversation that we had just before I went on here, is that you have to believe you have that in order for it to materialize in the material world for you. It already exists. Everything that you ever desired, it already exists, but you can't obtain it because you haven't raised your vibration to the level that you can see it. That's why you can't have it yet, because you're not there. You may not ever get it unless you raise. You have to come up. You have to come up. So if you're doing something within the structure of your business, for instance, accountability is a must-have. You can't get around it. Now, in order to do that, you may have to kill off something. Something has to go in order for something to replace it. So there's going to be some resurrection going on within the structure of this too. So you have to actually put it in place. And then what good leaders will do is they lead by example. If I'm not willing to do this, then I can't ask you to do.
Sure.
If I'm willing to do this, then this becomes my boundary of what I expect from you. Now, it's hard to maintain. That's easy said than done, because talking about humans, every human is flawed. So that person has to have a lifestyle or belief system where they try to function as close within that boundary as possible all the time. If they can do that, now it becomes a lifestyle. So they don't have to think about it. They start living that way. Everything around them has to start operating that way, or else they lose you. If you're not within that set of principles that they've established for themselves, then they kind of drop you off. You get kicked to the side. So everybody understands that. Now, I'm going to give you a quick 2-minute story here to talk about restoration and accountability, right? I was coaching my football team at one point in time, and we went to Baton Rouge, Louisiana to play a game. So we get there to play this game, and my starting quarterback, had lost his favorite uncle that day, but he didn't tell anybody. He boarded the bus and made the trip, and everything looked like it normally does with him. Conversation was normal with him, but once the game started, his mind wasn't on the field because emotionally inside he was suffering this loss of his favorite uncle. So I'm looking at him throwing the ball all over the place, and it's not hitting the targets. They're going to the dirt. They're going in the stands. I mean, so I don't talk to him immediately. I just kind of let him go. And the next time we went out on the field, he did the same thing. And the team was feeding off of this same energy. Because his energy was down, the team started to feel that, and they started to feed off of that. So I could see the level of play starting to drop. The score still 0-0 at this point. They hadn't scored and we hadn't scored. So what I did was I made the decision to call a timeout. When I called that timeout, I called the entire team over to me. Everybody came in, and I told them, we've made this trip. We're here now. There's nobody but us on this field. This game is ours to win. So what I want you guys to do is decide. I'm just going to tell you this. I think that we can win this game. It's going to be tough because they're a good team, but I think we win this game. We made this trip. We're going to beat them. And so I'm giving them my confidence that I know that you can do this. So I tell them to let's go back out and let's play. So they go back out and they play, and then the quarterback comes over to me, and I walk over to him, meet him as he's coming off the field, and I ask him, I say, what's going on with you, man? What's happening? And so that's when he tells me that his uncle died, and he's feeling it. So I tell him, I said, well, look, do you want to sit out the rest of the game? I said, you should. All you had to do is just tell me you wouldn't even made the trip. This was something you didn't even have to do. He said, no, I want to come and play. I want to come and play. I said, okay, I'll tell you what I need for you to do then. You pull yourself together as much as you possibly can. I'm going to tell everybody else that plays on offense that they're going to have to step their game up and fill in for the energy that you don't have. They're going to carry you this game. Okay? He said, okay, coach, I'm just going to play the way I said, you just do what you can do. Everybody else is going to carry you. So I called the team over, and I told them what was going on with him. And I told them, if he throws the ball, I told my receivers, if he throws the ball anywhere near you, go get it. I don't care if it's low, high, wherever it is, go get the ball. I told them why I need them to do that. They stepped their game up and they carried him. They became his wing. We won that game by 6 points. We went on to win that game. And so that's accountability because at the same time, some portion of him had left with his uncle. So I needed to restore what I needed for him to do at that point in time. And I told him, after this game, we got to get you home. So you're gonna fly back. You're not going back with the team. We'll talk after the game. We'll get you set up with an air flight, and you're flying back home. But so that restored his belief in that he needed to go. Now he needs to go home and take care of his uncle, the rest of his family. And so he died, but resurrected his energy at the same time.
Yeah.
Now the accountability comes in with the rest of the team. The rest of the team then decided, okay, we're going to carry him. He can't do it today, so we got him. In a work environment or any other type of thing, the same thing needs to take place. You have one employee that's maybe a little bit slower in doing something or can't do something, somebody else needs to, instead of complaining about that person, take their space. It might be a little extra work for a few days or a few hours at the point that you're doing it. Nobody wants to do any extra work they're not getting paid for, but you're doing that anyway. So for the sake of the team, take one. If you can put yourself in that mindset, I promise you it will come full circle. And at a point in time that you think that nobody's noticed you doing this, you're going to get your opportunity. Somebody's going to come to you and give you a raise or a better position higher up. Some kind of way it's going to come back to you. And so, a lot of times people speak of not being able to go back and do something, but you can. So that's what I would do about resurrecting and accountability is when I'm speaking to you, that's what you really need. So am I over my 10 minutes, by the way?
Yeah, 2 minutes over.
Okay.
Anyway, we got to give you the applause.
But that's what the show is about, though. It's so, even though we did this one kind of like, I already knew what I was going to talk about, But at
Yes.
the same time, I wanted to make sure that I hit on with it. And some of the people that will come on the show will be so, in depth or involved in their speech that they'll forget the 10 minutes will come and you may have to step in and say, okay, that's it. That's it. That's it. Because what happens is when you're speaking up, and this is going to be my last bit here. When you're having a conversation, if you guys have probably noticed this before, because I'm pretty sure you've had this happen to you. You can be in a conversation with somebody and forget that you're actually in a certain room or in a certain space.
Yes. Yes.
Whatever y'all are discussing, you you will go outside of that perimeter and you'll be talking to people as though you're in a whole different area.
Mhm.
And so they have a name for that, but that's how deep you can get involved in a conversation. If it's a really good conversation and it's in depth about something, you're learning more about something, you'll forget that you're in a room. The walls will just disappear, and you will actually live into that moment that you're speaking about. You will be
Mm-hmm.
right there in it. So that's how powerful words in the mind and all of this stuff actually is once you figure out how to use it. That's the thing. You got to figure out how to use it for your benefit. But if you can figure that out and do it on a daily basis, oh, the world belongs to you. The world is yours. You just have to go get it there. So anything I would tell people, anything that you want to get done, uh, take your time and figure out how this all works. And it works for you because we're all on separate journeys, right?
True.
So your
True.
journey is your journey. That's the thing is even though the three of us are sitting here talking about this, we're all on separate journeys. And so
Yes.
your experiences are going to be different, but they'll be the same, but they'll be different, if that makes sense to you. So
Yes.
at some point they'll relate, but at the same time, what you experience will be your own experience. That's why people don't experience God or anything like that in the same way. So sometimes when you're speaking to people about and they tell you about their experience, you can't relate to that. You're like, I didn't experience that. So what you talking about? That
Right.
didn't happen. That couldn't have possibly happened. But it did to them because that was supposed to be their
Mm-hmm.
experience. They
Yes.
figured they could share it with you and you could resonate with it some type of way. That's not always the case because they may not be at a point in their life where they've experienced that yet. So that's what you have to remember about things is when you decide to share something that's really in depth, is that you're sharing your experience, not necessarily theirs, but it's yours. And that's okay. If they say they don't get it, that's fine. Don't take any effect to that and say, well, I don't understand why you don't know anything about that. They haven't experienced it. They don't know what you know. And
True.
sometimes some of this stuff is going to be to where it opens your eyes for you to see, and you're not supposed
True.
to share with anybody else. You want
Yes.
to, and you'll go and tell somebody, but they won't believe it. They're like, get out of here. That couldn't have possibly happened, but it did. It did. So it's just for you sometimes. So that's what you have to remember. So anyway, that's it for me. I'll shut up now. Sorry.
John.
Wow. You took us on a journey because someone who might be listening when just the topic that you spoke about, accountability, and the story you shared, you draw us in because that is what is so powerful about storytelling. You bring people into a space where they can actually visualize what is happening when you spoke about a player and you show empathy in the moment and your strategy. You were very strategic when you spoke about how you handle the situation. Very strategic, very skillful. And who wouldn't want to have a speaker like you in whatever corporation that would be? Because then I know that my team will be safe. You're coaching. I know my players. You can motivate them. We're here to win. We traveled on this journey. We're here to win. So you sold us. Because I think at the end of the day, whatever we're speaking about, in whatever situation it is, We want to know that we can experience that level of motivation and that level of transformation, that we can believe in ourselves, that we can do it, whatever it might be, we can do it. But it starts with our belief system, and that we can lean into that and harness that and take that with us. And just know that you know that you got it within you. You tap in, you lean into your inner wisdom. Great job.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah, listening to you, well, you're helping the listeners to understand how it's being done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's having a story that you can share along with your wisdom that is within you that you want to birth, and you bring it out and you put your best into it, what you're saying. Be confident in what you're saying,
Wow. Yeah.
because when you are confident, people can read it. When you're confident, they can see it within you, the confidence that is coming out, and that will make them confident as well to believe in you, in what you are saying. So this platform is giving you that opportunity that you can come on here. And whilst Will was talking, something came to mind. What you can start to do is go in front of the mirror. Start with the mirror first.
you. Yeah.
Stand in front of the mirror, write out your speech, and stand in front of that mirror and work on it every day. You go into your bedroom or your bathroom, you lock your door and start with the mirror. Let the mirror be your audience.
That's good.
So when you
Mm-hmm.
start to talk to yourself in that mirror, you will see how you're going to build that confidence. Because as you go along, you're going to raise that vibration and you're going to raise that frequency within yourself and build that self-confidence that you can able to step into this platform here and to deliver. And as you deliver, you don't know who you else you are delivering to.
Right.
So prepare your speech, come in here, and we're going to give you 10 minutes to deliver. And when you deliver that 10 minutes, it could be whatever you're doing, whatever business you're doing. And if you're looking for a company to hire you, for you to talk to their audience, for instance, like if you're doing like breath work, if you're doing anything that you know can benefit someone, come into this platform. Our email address is at the bottom. Write us, let us know, or contact myself and Joan Willis on LinkedIn. And we'll give you this platform that you can give a pitch. And when you give this pitch, you're pitching to the world.
That's right.
And so many businesses is going to see you as well. So we're so happy to start this Power of the Reflective Speaker series. It's to help you. And as Will said, it's to cut out the middleman. It's for you going direct to the person who you really want to reach. So we are helping you. It's all about helping you because we know a lot of people are struggling out there. They are very good speakers and they are sitting on their speech.
That's
So
right.
it's time for you to take that speech out into your hand and start to speak. So we're going to give you that opportunity here that you can come forward and you can pitch. And you know what? Believe in yourself. Because when you pitch, you don't know who is listening. Someone is listening to you. And the thing is, when you pitch, it could be somebody in the audience that could be listening to you that is in an organization and could carry your name to that organization and tell the organization, you know what? I've been listening to this gentleman or I've been listening to this woman on the Power of the Reflective Speaker series. And I think they could benefit us. We can bring them in and they can talk to our co-workers. So you never know where this could take you. It could take legs and it can start walking. So all you need to do is be confident in yourself, believe in yourself, contact us, and we're going to make it happen for you. Right, Will?
That's
I
right.
I I I just
Absolutely.
wanna
I
I
couldn't have
just
said it
wanna
any
add a
better than that.
layer. I,
That's good.
I just want to add a layer on that. You may just get a home run.
Absolutely. You're
Yes.
going to take off.
Yeah. That's it. That's
May
it.
get a home run.
Yeah, yeah. We are so happy, it's all about the energy, it's all about the vibrations that we are bringing because we just want to help people.
Yes.
We just want to help people. We are seeing too much of people struggling, you know, and they have gifts. We all have gifts within us,
Of course.
and we need to bring it out. We need to bring it out. We don't need to sit there and say, you know what, I'm scared. No, don't be scared. Do not be scared. Come, and we're gonna help to put you out there. Just come,
Right.
Right.
contact us, and we're gonna help you. We're all here to just help you. We are here to
Yes.
help.
Take the
Yeah.
first step.
That's it.
Take the first step. Make that bold move. Don't
Yeah.
look
Well,
at the staircase.
there
Any
you
words
go. Take
before
that
we leave?
step.
Well, any words before
Uh,
we leave?
yes. Uh, the meaning of reflexive is
Mm-hmm.
object and subject. So
Right.
you as the speaker are the object. The subject is the speech. So that's why the word reflexive is what it is. So I was looking for something uh, that wasn't normally used every day, and
Mm-hmm.
reflexive just kind of stuck out to me. So I started playing around with it a little bit, and it made sense. It's unusual word that people don't use often unless you're in a certain industry or something. But other than that, you don't hear it a lot. And so for this, it's perfect because, like I said, it means two things that are one. So speaker in the speech is, two things that are one. Because the person is going to give the speech. And so I figured that this introduction to the show here has been pretty good. I went over my time limit, of course, but of course, as people come in, you may want to, and it won't be a big deal if you go over a minute or so, but you
Right.
want to sort of keep it to where it's at the 10-minute mark. So you may have to practice your speech a little bit to get it to where it fits in that 10-minute range. And as you see, 10 minutes go very fast. So
Very
Sure.
it's gonna
fast.
happen. It's gonna happen for you really fast. It'll be so quick that you won't even realize you've done it. And so that's one of the things that you have to figure out, that it's not going to take you long to say what you need to say, and the rest of it will take care of itself. That's it.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and to the audience. We just want to thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us today. This is all new for us. This is a new series we are starting now. And this series that we're starting, the Power of the Reflective Speaker series, it's for you. We created a space here for you. It's for you to come and for you to test yourself out. You don't have to be scared. You do not have to be scared. If you're a speaker and you've been thinking all along, I really want to be a speaker, but I am scared. No, we're opening this door for you that you can step in and you can come in here and you can showcase whatever you're doing. If you're an author and you want to give a pitch to a company about your book that you're selling, that it could help people, we're gonna facilitate you with that. So this is a great space for you to come in and you will able to be the person you're aspiring to be. So come on in. Come on
Yes.
in. If you know somebody who is looking to be a speaker, bring them along. Right,
Yes.
Joan?
That's it.
I was just gonna say, you have the keys. You have the keys in your hands. Unlock the door and come on in.
Yes.
Come on in. Because the beautiful thing is that when you unlock, there is endless possibilities. When
Yes.
you unlock something, there is endless possibilities. So take a second look tonight. Take that bold move. You've been thinking about something. I know you are. And you're wondering, can I? Should I? And all those questions you have in mind. But tonight, What the three of us are here to tell you. Well, Karen and myself, you can do this. You can do this. Take a second look. Remind yourself who you are. And you are in this universe with a special reason. And that gift, whatever it may be, big or small, you can unlock and make it happen.
Yes.
2024 is your year. It's your moment. This is your season. Step out, make that bold move. Choose you. It's yours. Come on in
Oh, that's
and bless us with your gift.
Yes, yes,
right.
yes. Thank you, John. Yes, yes. Bless us with your gift. And if you joined us late, you got to go and watch this replay. It's very inspiring, and it's going to help you to really look at yourself and bring yourself out.
Right.
Don't forget to subscribe to Soul Light and Body, because we got some
Yeah.
amazing things coming up, and we don't want you to miss out. We want you to be a part of this experience. So go sign up to Soul Light and Body and subscribe. And if you know anyone who can benefit from this, share this link to them so they can be a part, and you can help them as well to
Right.
rise to the occasion. We love you guys. Thank you so
We
much for
love you.
joining us this
Well,
evening.
it's a treat.
Thank
You're
you.
a true
Thank you.
treasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, I'm going to close out my last words. Is what I use when the people that are in my inner circle. I don't say this to everybody. There's people that's in my inner circle that I really say this to. And I'm going to leave this for everybody else in the world to be in my inner circle tonight. And those words are one love. When I say that, I only say that to people that are in my inner circle that's close to me.
Yes.
So I'll leave it. I might say one to them if you're not all the way in my inner circle, but tonight I'm sharing my love with you, and I'm saying one love to you. So that's
Yes.
my last word.
That's
Yes.
beautiful. Well,
Yes.
thank
Thank
you.
you. Well, thank you so much. We're sharing the love. We are sharing that love.
Yeah.
Join
Yeah.
us here
Yeah.
next week, Monday. Look for the flyer, and look for the great guest that is going to be coming on next week, Monday. Great. You
Thank
guys
you.
Thank
have a
you.
fabulous week. What a great way to start off a week,
Thank
right?
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
Good
you.
show,
much.
ladies.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.